Hi everyone, welcome to a new day, a new moon, and the surrender point. It's so good to have you all here to see some faces I haven't seen in a little while, and some faces that I'm around often and much, and I love it. Okay, yeah, camera off today, no problem, Amanda. So we have Arizona, Perth, Western Australia with me, yay. UK, hi Trish, Northwest Tasmania, we've got a mix here. So great that we can connect with technology, isn't it? Never thought those words would leave my mouth. Loving technology as much as I do now. I think it's just such a sweet gift, and I remember the moment I surrendered to it, and I think a big moment in time for me was actually, when we're all kind of in our homes and confined, and I started creating more and more online, like Zoom spaces, and Voice of the Goddess was born, and more of these amazing masterclasses where we could come together was born. And I realized that phrase that we all feel and hear often, which is oneness, we are all one, I realized the truth of that, and not just the truth of that conceptually, but in my cells, in my bone, in my marrow, in my blood. I realized that when we just surrendered to the space of love within these places of meeting, that so much could be felt, so much could be experienced. Yeah? So before we begin, I would love to hear from you and hear why the surrender point. Some of you have only booked in for this particular masterclass. There hasn't been other classes that you've booked into. Why this one? What is it about the surrender point for all of you here that entices you? What do you feel the invitation is? What do you feel surrender means to you? Or is that what you feel you need to dive into? Just take a moment to feel into that. And as you feel why surrender, ask yourself, is this something that I'm actually willing to partake in, to actively choose? Not to just dive into when I'm traumatized or when the shit hits the fan, or when there doesn't look like any other options. Because that surrender point is, to me at least, where a lot of people find themselves. There's nothing else I can do. I'm just on my knees. I'm on my knees and I'm praying my heart out. And the invitation here is to open yourself to the surrender point more freely, more consistently. Lovingly gazing upon yourselves, compassionately holding yourselves, tenderly soothing yourself through whatever trauma, whatever disarray, whatever discombobulation has you feeling like you're coming apart at the seams. Because you see, when we allow trauma to rule us, there comes a time where we're so exhausted from it that we simply let go. And it's that moment of letting go where we feel the true surrender. We feel ourselves at that point where we're just that exhale. And what I'm suggesting here, what I'm inviting here, is to relinquish the need to have to hold a tight rein on everything, to control everything, to wield a well-honed sword that protects you from feeling more deeply. You kind of wave that sword in front of you and slash anything that comes close to having you feel what you need to feel, to experience what's there for you to experience, because life is so rich in experience. That's why we're here, to experience the many facets of what it is to be human. And what happens is the more you hold on, the more you don't breathe, the more you stuff everything down and just breathe from up here and don't let yourself fully feel, because when you're closing yourself off from feeling, when you're controlling, when you're trying to orchestrate every moment of your life, when you're trying to keep a lid on a lot, you're just kind of breathing here. And it's short and it's sharp, and it takes you out of yourself more. You disassociate. But when you allow yourself to breathe more deeply, you come back into yourselves. So in the first version, your nervous system is shot, your endocrine system, your hormonal system, your digestive system, your mental health, your emotional well-being, your spiritual well-being, and your physical well-being are all compromised. It ceases to function in the way that your soul and creator intended for it to function, right? When you allow yourselves to breathe again, which we'll do together in this session, and we'll harness some beautiful essential oils, and I'll take you on some beautiful meditation and sound. But when you breathe again, you start to feel, you start to return, you come back to your body. The body gets a bit of a bad rap, you know. It's quite dense, it experiences a lot of things. We break a bone, we get achy, we have hormones running rampant, you know, whatever it is, there's all these things, and the poor body really gets a bad rap. But the thing is it's vital for us to be in divine union with our body, create harmony with our body, all aspects, the mental, physical, emotional bodies. And that's part of the surrender point too. Surrendering to the wisdom of your whole self. The surrender point isn't just about surrendering to something outside of yourself. Like, to me, God, Goddess, Spirit, Life Force, Universe, whatever you call that beautiful universal presence in all that is, that divine love. To me, yes, I experience it in life outside of me. I look out and I behold these two beautiful fruiting trees and lavender and all of the beauty that's around me. And I feel that godly presence. And I also attune to it deep within me as well. and deep within you. So it's not separate. But there was probably a time in my life where maybe it was separate. And until I surrendered wholly to that force of love, that divine higher intelligence, I didn't experience life like I do now. Does that make sense? So Jillian, you said, I'm in a space where I feel surrender is something I need to feel. I need to feel more. I have a way of trying to be in control all of the time, and it's time to let go. Yeah, beautifully said. Holly, for me it's the stress, frustration, and out of control feelings of the last 3 months. 3 broken ankles, sore body, COVID, broken toilets, tired, stressed out family here, boiling point over here. Yeah. So I hear that. I mean, many of us could probably agree we've had times like this, right? Can I kind of see a wave of hands where it's like, okay, I'm over it, I'm done. At some point in our lives, we've gotten to that point. And there's no shame in it. These points are the points that often lead humanity to eventually getting to surrender. And I guess what I'm suggesting here is, do you want to just bring that forward? Instead of waiting till the catastrophe has hit in all its glory, do you want to just accept the invitation and surrender? It's like that eternal song that surrounds us, that song of love. There's like this gong that chimes within us. There are chimes of love harmonizing with life all of the time. And until we allow ourselves to release and to unplug from what actually does have control over us, because it's not, we don't ever have control. We don't. But for as long as we grip with fear onto that control, that illusion of control, we end up in the thrall of media and other people's beliefs. Like, we're easily swayed by external programming. You understand? So if I asked you this, what is it you want to surrender to? Can you pop that in the chat? Do you even know? What do you want to surrender to? Take a moment to feel that. Grace. It's beautiful, Holly. Yeah. Healing. Yeah. Acceptance. Who I really am. Beautifully said, Trish. What else? And you know, something to ask yourself is, how will I recognize it when I'm there? Bonnie, to my purpose in life. So once you surrender to these, how will you know you're there? How will you know that that's surrender? How will you know that you're receiving grace or acceptance? How will you know that what's happening to you is the next thing? Sorry, just one moment. Sorry. So you're saying hopefully you'll feel at peace. So the thing is when we feel like we have a destination to reach, it can become really confusing. Because we can fall into forcing it to happen again rather than allowing. So what we want to do is open ourselves to the allowance of grace flowing through, of healing flowing through. And Amanda, you wrote to what is happening next for me, and I think I said to you, how will you know when you're there? And you said, I won't, it will flow. So that's okay as well. However, the way surrender works is actually releasing. So Amanda's on the right track there, right? It'll flow. The next point though from that is when you release all attachment to outcome and just allow yourself to dwell within a more consistent dwelling, that is, space of love, of holding, where you are surrendered to the majesty of grace. I mean, grace brings all these things, right? When we surrender to grace, we're surrendering to what grace is responding to. So the prayer for healing, the call to understand ourselves more deeply, of purpose, whatever it may be. And something that's powerful is to give it a voice. Find the voice of your divinity, the voice of the God and Goddess within you, so that you can speak your truth. And to speak your truth, you need to go deep. You need to unpack what's deeply packed within you. You're like a storage container. And the rent's getting higher and higher. The rent is taxing your health, your mental space, your emotional harmony, right? That's the rent. That's your exchange for stuffing everything down and keeping it in storage. Your joints start to get sore. Your body starts to not function the way it does. So the surrender point is innate in us, and it's been conditioned out of us, just like joy is our innate state, and in many ways it's been conditioned out of us. So having your intentions there, grace, flow, peace, purpose, I want you to tap into, do you all use essential oils? Can we talk essential oils here? You're all familiar with essential oils. So I want you to tap into an essential oil, an existing blend, or a blend that you bring together that you want to use as an aromatic anchor to take you to this surrender point, to open you to the surrender point. And when I say take you to the surrender point, it's right here, it's within you, it's there, ready. But for some reason you've closed the door to it. So sound and scent helps us to release, as does movement. So we're going to do a little bit of that next, but I want you to choose your essential oils. Blue Lotus takes me to my joyful, happy place. I use it daily. Yeah, it's beautiful, Bonnie. Blue Lotus is a great pick. You're loving her, you're working with her, It's a great pick for you because you're already like surrendering to her song, right? So she'll help open you to surrender more deeply to life, in life, within life. Okay. If you want to, pop it in the chat. Cheer, beautiful, Cypress, Amavi. Okay, great. All right, so, and then for the rest of you, if you don't want to share, that's fine as well. All right, so let's begin. Let's have a little bit of fun, right? So we're going to incorporate sound and movement in this. Now, for those that haven't worked with me before, no one can hear you. No one can hear you. You're all on mute. So when I invite you to make sound, please accept the invitation, because my intention is to give you tools to go on with, to actually go on with after this. This is all well and good to come to a masterclass, but you want to use some of the tools, yeah? So you'll have the essential oil or blend that you've chosen that will become an aromatic anchor for this moment. So have that essential oil or the Palo Santo that Trish has near you and be able to be smelling it. Drop in your palms, rub them together, breathe it in. Yeah. And you might want to kind of do a little invocation to ask the essential oil to clear the way for you so that the path forward becomes more graceful. Okay, we're going to begin with sound and go into a meditation together. So just get yourselves nice and comfortable. Make sure you feel your back, your feet, knees supported, everything comfortable. Take a full deep breath. Feel your belly rise and fall with the in-breath and the out-breath and the moments in between. Just allow yourself to come into yourself more deeply, landing, feeling. Feel your body gently sinking more deeply into the seat, into the bed, wherever you are, relaxing. Breathe into any tension in your body and breathe the sound into those places of tension. Letting the essential oils weave their way into you. Relaxing you like gentle fingers, teasing out the stress, the strain. Imagine, see, feel, or sense in the way that you do a beautiful golden light around you, a cocoon of golden light. Just feel yourself melting into this light that is now seeping into your auric field, your energy bodies, your skin, the largest organ of your body, filled with this golden light. The light, like your breath, is bringing you deeper relaxation. The sound weaving into you, relaxing you. The golden light entering your blood, your bone, your marrow, your organs. You're at the perfect time for this. It's the new moon. It's Piscean new moon. Intuition, water flow, emotions, senses, opening, awakening. Feel the water within you moving, flowing. Feel yourself melting into the flow of water within you. Letting yourself go. Imagine that beautiful golden light now still around you, holding you, containing a song of love, of healing, of joy, of expansive bliss and grace within it. It's encoded with divine intelligence, divine love. And as this light pours into you, you feel yourself relaxing ever more, surrendering to it. Allow yourself to get a sense of a beautiful golden pillar of light coming down from the heavens, from the center of the universe. And at the same time, a silver pillar of light comes up from the earth, from the heart of the earth herself. And the pillars come together to meet in the chamber of your heart space. And it becomes one cylinder, silver and gold and pure. And the silver continues to make its way upwards, anchoring deep into the heart of the universe. And the golden pillar goes downwards into the heart of the earth. So the silver and golden lights meet as one. Masculine and feminine forces met as one flame within you. Now allow yourself to get a sense of the beautiful Earth Star. The Earth Star chakra about 40 centimeters below the soles of your feet. And this Earth Star has its own like Merkaba star. And you get a sense of that star in the earth, just a beautiful star in the earth, connected to you and connected to the earth and her wisdom. And you feel the arms of the star extending outwards, outwards, downwards, and upwards. The star rotates. It's multifaceted. You feel yourself connecting, becoming the star. Your own arms extending outwards. Your legs and arms becoming points of the star. Your upper body becoming the highest point, peak of the star. Until you just feel yourself, as you know yourself, dissolved and becoming a star. And then the Earth Star Chakra, 30 to 40 centimeters above your head, spinning above you. So a star below you, a star above you, and you have become a star. 3 beautiful stars rotating on an axis of love, of peace, of grace, all within this silver and golden pillar of light. You are allowing your form to dissolve, to surrender to the light that is you, to the purity that is you. Bring your awareness to the sound. Feel the sound around you as you feel yourself completely dissolved in this moment in time. It's like you've returned to the stardust you're made of, and you have become that star, that original source of pure divine light. Unlock your jaw, release. The first point of surrender is surrendering your body to the light that it is. Breathing in, now feeling the star above and the star below as their own form, and the star that is you now coming back into the form of you, from formlessness to form. And I want you to inhale and just release a sigh. Breathing in those essential oils on your hands, on your palms. Feel yourself coming back into your body. So that was the first step. And now we come into the beautiful cavernous space of the heart. Breathing down into the chamber of your heart, that golden and silver pillar of light, your tether to your divinity, to the divinity all around you. Breathing down into the chamber of your heart. It's a cavernous, beautiful space, full of light and shadow, full of love, full of the truth that is you. And I want you to feel that space opening like a rose, the queen rose. She stands present here, reminding you that though you might have within you these tight buds of control, when you let the light of your divinity shine upon them, they will open and blossom. They will bring you more deeply into who you are, who you truly are. Not who the overculture dictates for you to be. No. These buds within you, these buds of truth, of your truth, are waiting for you to seek them out, to nourish them, to feed them again. And so you do. And so you do. So now I want you to bring to mind what you chose in this moment to surrender to at the beginning of this circle. And bring your awareness to that grace, healing, acceptance, who I really am, to my purpose in life, to what is happening next for me. Remembering those choices, calling your awareness to them and anything else that might be arising in this moment. Inhaling and exhaling more deeply to it, following the song of the rose, the song of your heart, to it. Don't worry about the how of it. Just feel the presence of that grace, that healing, that purpose, that truth, that knowingness come back, flowing into you. I want you to take a moment now to really see yourself as though you are already at this point. So once you surrender to this grace, healing, acceptance, truth of who you really are, your purpose, what is next happening for you, as you surrender to that, what do you look like? I want you to bring that to mind. What do you look like? How are you holding yourself in your body? How are you feeling? How do you smell? What are you wearing? Jasmine, rose, sandalwood, the firs, the spruces, the roots, the rhizomes, the cinnamon bark or cassia bark, the leaves, the crown of laurels. The resins, the seeds. What trails in your midst? What is your scent when you get to this point? How do you be in the world when you're at this point? Get a real feel for this, ladies. Take yourself deep into it. If you are allowing these things into your life, if you're truly surrendering to them, how will your life change? See that now. Bring that into the vision and into your body. Feel what that feels like. Become familiar with it again. Know it again. Remember. And I want you to begin to become aware of a sound that's emerging from deep within you. Maybe you feel the sound already in those universal currents or in the earth flow, her heartbeat. Become aware of a sound, and if you don't know what the sound is, because you're not quite there yet, you're not quite allowing yourself to open, that's okay. I want you to just make a sound anyway. What does the sound of your freedom sound like when you finally get to the point of allowing yourself to surrender? I want you to take a breath, unlock your jaw, relax your shoulders, and let some sound out. Let the sound of your devotion come out. The sound of your devotion to grace, healing, acceptance, your truth, your purpose, to the flow of what's next. Let the sounds flow out of you. Do this for yourself. Love yourself enough to do this, be this, embody this. There's no point just praying for something. Embody it. Embody it. Open yourself to receive it. Release the sound from deep within you. Let the sounds pour forth. No one can hear you. Just release. Surrender. Let the sound pour forth from you. It's your song, your incantation, your prayer, your invocation. Let this new moon lend you strength for new beginnings, for the new you that wants to birth. Feel it, sense it, smell it, taste it. Feel what it is like to be the version of you you long to be when you truly surrender. It is such a simple invitation. You need only say yes. Release the need to complicate and control, and open your heart and your cells and your whole self to grace, to love, to healing, to knowingness. Healing is the return to wholeness. Your grief is not something to get rid of. It is part of you. We grieve and we live. Your brokenness is not something to get rid of. It is part of you. Makes up the multifaceted you. If God made you in His image and the Goddess made you in her image, then are you not perfect already? Just let the sound pour out of you. Try not to make sense of it. Just let it be. Remember, you are the star and you are the human. You are the light and the darkness. You are all of it and none of it. You are the part of the divine that has chosen to incarnate in human form. Surrender to the eternal love and to the divine grace and to the pure bliss and joyous expansion that wants to fill you. You are wise beyond measure. Use that wisdom to open yourself to the flood of grace. Now with scent and sound, move the waters of your body. Movement helps you to embody what you have invited in. So now, I'm not playing any music. I want you to follow the inner music of what you're beckoning to you. I want you to slowly begin moving your body. No one's watching you. Most everyone has their eyes closed here anyway. So move your body to the sound, to the song within you. Stand up, stay seated, whatever you need, but move your body. Let the sound move you to embodiment. Make sound yourself as this beautiful golden chalice pours codes of love and light into you, new frequencies into you. You open yourself to that God frequency, surrendering to that frequency, that eternal higher knowing, that eternal all-encompassing love, that eternal deep peace. And breathe. Release. Notice how you're feeling. And now I want you to take that beautiful vision of you living this life as you choose. And I want you to wrap it up in your joy, in your love, in your gratitude. Wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up. And with the thought, I want you to surrender it now to that divine being that is in us and within us and all around us and in everything, that higher intelligence, that God force, the goddess force. Surrender it fully to that divine, supreme love. May thy will be done, not my own. Surrender it. Relinquish control. Surrender it. Release all tethers. Surrender it, that it comes to you in the most unexpected ways. You don't know when, you don't know how, you just know it will. You know it is done. You know it is done. And take your hand and place it over your heart and smile. And the other hand over your belly and smile. Embodied love. Allowing the frequencies of love to continue to course through you, to permeate all parts of you, to clear all doubts. Love is all there is, and this is what you surrender to, and this is the surrender point. Smile, my loves. You did good. You to tune back into that song again and give it a louder voice. Express it in a song of gratitude. to yourself, to love, to the universe, to God, that you have had your next glimpse of surrender. And this is your new devotional. Surrendering, surrendering, surrendering. Inhale, exhale. Take your hands and just rub them together, activating those essential oil molecules, releasing their scent and taking a deep breath in. This new moon, these new beginnings, this new you. And give thanks in the way that you do, acknowledging yourself for being here, for taking a moment in time to bless yourself, to be blessed. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Thank you. Thank you all so much. If you could take a moment just to write down a few notes, that would be really good. If you've got a journal there or something you can write in, I want you to just write how you're feeling, any salient points you want to remember. Just do that now. Take a moment. Any feelings, your essential oils, the blends, write it all down. Just while it's fresh, write any reflections, anything that you feel you just want to keep right there. And you can bring this to the new moon tonight, yeah? To this beautiful energetic of new beginnings. Just going to find something for you. Okay, I'll just read you this little bit on the new moon that I've written. So it's a super new moon. A super new moon in Pisces invites us to surrender, release, and cleanse. With the sun and moon aligned, we are able to set intentions more clearly than ever. And you know now that when you align your intention so fully and you bring it into your body so you feel embodied in it and you surrender it, that's how your intentions are met, right? So Pisces is about being in the flow. It's allowing flow to come through. It's about that heightened intuitive awareness, your intuition. This time will often bring you greater clarity in the places beyond the veil, in the dreamscape, in your meditations. So pay attention to what comes through. A beautiful blend you may want to work with. You might want to create your own for this blend, for this Piscean new moon. Basil, cedarwood, cinnamon bark, and peppermint. So basil is going to help really hone your focus, attention, awareness. It's also a great one when you're feeling afraid to surrender, because basil invites you to take that deeper breath. Physically, basil's chemistry will work with relaxing the body, relaxing tightly held muscles. So energetically, relaxing any tightly held anything that holds you back from stepping into your newness. Your kind of massage those fears and doubts and those penetrative tendrils from the overculture and from media and anyone outside of you that doesn't serve you anymore. And then we have cedarwood, that beautiful, think of that gorgeous earth star chakra I connected you with. That center point we went into for the surrender point, that cedarwood. The essential oil comes from the heartwood. Again, going into the chamber of your heart, opening your heart to connect more deeply, to connect deeply with this collective consciousness around you, these men and women that are ready to thrive. Because when you surrender, you thrive. You thrive because you've stopped keeping such a tight leash on everything. You've stopped trying to make yourself something you're not. Right? You accept it. You accept it more graciously. And grace flows to those places of grief, of troubled waters, whatever it may be. And the thing is you've envisaged yourself as the version of you choose to be. It doesn't negate any of that. That's helped you to form the life that you're choosing, the you that you're choosing. And then cinnamon bark. Cinnamon bark's so beautiful for this Piscean new moon, because the cinnamon bark says, well, what's holding you back from surrendering actually to the flow of grace that wants to flow through you, to the intuitive nudges that want to rise from the waters from deep within you? What's stopping you? Well, what's stopping you is the armor you have around you, those armor plates around your intuition, around your heart, around your solar plexus, your place of power. Maybe around your connection with the earth, with the moon herself, with the cosmos, with the universal wisdom. What is it? And so cinnamon bark says, can you open yourself to more deeply loving yourself? Because cinnamon bark is also an aphrodisiac. It's very warming. And the aphrodisiacs open us, expand us to receive love. And so the cinnamon says, can you allow the currents of love to flow through you more deeply? Can you allow yourself to feel it more deeply? Can you allow yourself to connect with it more deeply? To embody it more deeply? To become devoted to embodying this warmth, this love, this eternal knowingness more deeply. And then the peppermint, another leaf. So we have these two leaves here for this new moon. So both of them are herbaceous. Both of them are small, from small shrubs. So this is affording you a clearer vision on what is right before you, which is the intention you've all just formulated, created, harnessed, embodied, released. The peppermint says, let me invigorate you, excite you, open you with clarity, with renewed focus. Peppermint says, if you want to create a legacy, be the legacy. Live it now, in this moment. Don't wait till you're dead. Live it now. So this new moon in Pisces is inviting you to go more deeply into what's my spiritual path, what's my earthly path, what's my choice around my emotional health, You see, it's like if you say to yourself, I want flow, I want to go with the flow, I want flow in my life, well, be more specific. Going with the flow isn't necessarily going to get you what you need or want. It becomes a platitude, a very lackadaisical one, a very lazy one, if you don't allow yourself to become the embodiment of whatever it is you're choosing. So, what is the next step in my spiritual growth? Could be a question you ask. What's the next step? Is this meditation we did today the next step? Am I going to do that every day? Is that the next step? That would support my spiritual growth. That would also support my physical and mental and emotional health and growth. You might ask, how can I add more color to the masterpiece that is my life? How can I add more color to that? Dancing more, that might be a beautiful splash of color to your canvas. Dancing more, singing more, toning more. Did you enjoy toning? It was a little bit scary at first, was a bit confronting. Was it just joyous? I know a few of you are in Voice of the Goddess with me, and we've done this lots in those places in Voice of the Goddess. Did the scent of the essential oils unleash something in you that you want to add to the tapestry, the masterpiece of your life, the canvas that is your life? Have they inspired you? That Palo Santo, that cypress, that Amavi, the chia, the blue lotus, and so on and so forth. What are they opening? Do they want to bring other plants in to weave with them? You might ask, how can I allow myself to surrender more deeply to my inner knowing, my inner intuition, my inner promptings, to the voice of God, the Holy Spirit, to whatever it is you call that. I just call it love, right? But just whatever you call that. Divine presence. How can I surrender more deeply to that? And when you connect with these prompts and create more for yourself if you want, they're relevant for this new moon, they're relevant for this exercise we did. Create more of these prompts for yourself if you want to. Just journey with them. Don't get too cerebral with it all. And yet the prompts can allow you sometimes to go deeper, right? To help you to stop avoiding what is right before you. Maybe this Piscean, that's okay, Amanda. Maybe this Piscean new moon is actually going to inspire you with something you've wanted to unleash into the world. Like a business where you are more intuitively and heartfully connected with this business idea, or maybe it's with a relationship with others. With yourself. With your daily devotions, your daily rituals. If you're following me on Instagram, you'll see there's a lot I'm putting in there around daily, rituals, simple things, both in my stories and in my grid. Right? Here in Australia we have BOGO, which is like buy one get one or buy one get two. And I've made sure that as I'm sharing them, I'm putting beautiful daily rituals, simple rituals for you. Why? Because, my loves, unless you become the embodiment of what you desire, of what you want to see in the world, it's going to be very difficult for you to recognize it when it's there. It's going to be very difficult for you to receive it, to magnetize it to you, because you need to shift your vibration. You need to change your frequency, right? Is this all helpful? Yeah, good. I wanted to just kind of bring a bit of new moon magic into this, because we're here. We're here right now. This is the best time for you all to be in this space. Surrendering can be a bit scary at different times in your life. And yet, it's also one of the most blissful things. It's like, if any of you have had a child here, you know that it's imperative that you surrender to the contractions. We can't force the baby out and down our birth canal. It's not like taking a poo and the worst that happens is you end up with a hemorrhoid from forcing. There's nothing that you can do to force the birthing of the true you, of your true creation into the world. There's nothing you can do to force it, so you may as well surrender to it. You understand? Your physical body tries to force things. You may try in your physical body to force things. But on these other levels, it's the surrender point that takes you there. So, that's it from me. How are you feeling? Yeah, good. If you want to pop in the chat anything, if you have any questions, please take a moment to do so. If you have any comments, let us know how you're feeling. If anyone wants to come on camera and off mute, I'll give you some time after we turn off the recording so you have some private time. I do want to let you know that in about, I don't know, I think it's about 10 days, 4th of March, we begin Voice of the Goddess. And this is the final Voice of the Goddess. So it's a 6-month journey with me. And we journey the elements. We go deep with the essential oils. We share, we express. We unbridle ourselves and become free again. Unsaddle ourselves from the conditioning that was often well-meaning from the past, and step forward in all of our newness and oldness, because we remember why we said yes to this lifetime. This last Voice of the Goddess, she's already coming through with her own magical imprint, like she does every time. By the end of it, you learn to read your own Akashic records, and of course those that have journeyed with me before learn to read the records of others as well. We journey through earth, fire, air, water, and Akasha, the 5 magical elements, exploring the essential oils in there. We do lots of DNA regeneration, meditations, dynamic meditations, all of it. It's like pure grace in a 6-month journey. It's the return home to love. There are 3 retreats contained within it. So we meet every fortnight, and 3 different times in that we have, so the fortnightly meetings are 2 hours each, and then the retreats go to 3 hours each. And always we turn off the recording and you get a good hour or so just with me and with each other and each other's wisdom, and it's very, very powerful. So I'd love to invite you to Voice the Goddess. I'm going to put the link in the chat for you. I'd love you to explore her and to say yes. Okay, so Holly says, you're feeling much lighter and free. My heart is lighter. Some practices have come forth to help me approach this tricky time with grace. Yeah, it is a tricky time, you know, all the breakages, and you can't walk right now, and you're surrendering. You know, you have to surrender. You can't control this, right? Trish, thank you. Love to hear the word grace repeated. Yeah, embrace your brokenness. Love it. Yeah, thanks, Trish. Beautiful. Jillian, surrender to intuition more. I love that. I'm having some aha moments with my intuition. I'm having fun with it. Great. Great. So, my loves, thank you for being here. I will say, for Voice of the Goddess, feel free to reach out for a one-on-one. If you go to that landing page, you can book a one-on-one with me. You can have time with me. And if she's not the journey for you, I do have a beautiful container called Frequency. And we get together once a month, every full moon. And we do meditations like this, and, you know, oil blends, and go deeper into the energetics of that full moon. So when you go to the landing page of Voice of the Goddess, you'll also see just a tab called Offerings. And there's one called Frequency. Or if you're on my Insta, and you can join us there for as little as like $22 a month. And it's beautiful. We're in there for a couple of hours. It's deep, it's poignant, it's delicious. So that might be a space you want to come to. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Thank you, thank you. I'm going to turn off the recording. I'll be here if any of you have questions or want to say something that maybe, you don't want recorded. I'll just read what Sunny says. It has been really good. Release of that which can be stuck and unnoticed without this wonderful time we just had together. Yeah, it was just the first time attending. It was great. Fantastic, Sunny. I'm so happy to hear it. Stay tuned, stay on, and I'll just stop the recording and I'll be here. To everyone watching the recording, I hope you enjoyed this. New moon blessings, and may you enjoy the surrender point.